Welcome to Wisdom in Minutes Audiobooks. Today's journey is all about transformation. Not the kind that happens overnight, but the kind that lasts a lifetime. Because if you can change your habits, you can change your mindset, and when you change your mindset, you change your life. So, let me ask you something powerful. Are you living each day with purpose? Or are you living each day on autopilot? Because the truth is, your future isn't built by dreams alone. It's built by habits. Small, consistent actions that quietly shape who you become. Imagine waking up every morning feeling focused, confident, and unstoppable. That's what these 10 positive habits will do for you. They will rewire your thinking, reprogram your focus, and rebuild your inner power. Every morning, before touching your phone or facing the noise of the world, stop and say thank you. Gratitude rewires your brain to notice what's right, not what's missing. It's impossible to be stressed and grateful at the same time. Gratitude creates abundance. It changes how you see everything. Your mind is like soil. What you plant grows. Feed it books, podcasts, wisdom, and ideas that challenge you. Stop filling it with negativity. Remember, what you consume, you become. Energy is emotion in motion. Exercise isn't just for your body, it's for your mind. Every time you move, you release stress and create clarity. Strong habits create strong minds. Your words are spells. When you say, I can, you open the door to possibility. When you say, I can't, you close it before you even begin. Speak life into your goals. Talk to yourself the way you talk to someone you love. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Stop giving your time to distractions that don't serve your purpose. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Invest it wisely. Close your eyes and see the life you want, not just once, but every single day. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. The more you visualize success, the more your subconscious believes it's possible. In a noisy world, silence is your superpower. Meditation, deep breathing, or a quiet walk. These moments help you reconnect with yourself. Remember, calm minds make powerful decisions. You become like the people you spend time with. So ask yourself, are they lifting you higher or keeping you small? Choose company that challenges you to rise, not comfort that convinces you to settle. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up. Every small win rewires your brain to love the process. Success isn't built in one giant leap. It's built one small habit at a time. Before you sleep, pause. Reflect on what went right, what you learned, and what you'll improve tomorrow. This daily reflection keeps your growth intentional and your spirit grounded. Gratitude. Such a simple word, yet it holds the power to completely transform the way you see your world. Most people wake up every morning thinking about what they don't have, what went wrong yesterday, or what might go wrong today. They open their eyes and instantly connect with stress. But not you, not anymore. Because when you learn to start your day with gratitude, you begin to see life through a new lens, a lens of strength, peace, and abundance. Imagine this: you wake up tomorrow morning, the sun barely rising, the world still quiet. Instead of reaching for your phone, instead of scrolling through other people's lives, you take one deep breath and say, thank you. Thank you for this new day. Thank you for another chance. Thank you for the strength that carried me through yesterday and the hope that guides me through today. In that moment, your entire vibration shifts. The energy inside you rises. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it's a frequency. It's the sound your soul makes when it's aligned with peace. Here's the truth. Your mind can only focus on one dominant emotion at a time. You cannot feel anger and gratitude in the same breath. You cannot feel fear and gratitude at the same time. Gratitude cancels negativity. It reprograms your brain to see what's right instead of what's missing. It tells your mind, I am safe, I am blessed, I am enough. And when your mind believes that, everything around you begins to change. Think about it. How often do we complain about things we once prayed for? That job you once wanted so badly. That relationship you hoped for. That home you dreamed of. Somewhere along the way, we stop seeing them as blessings and start treating them as burdens. Gratitude brings you back to awareness. It opens your eyes to what's already good in your life. Because sometimes, it's not happiness that makes us grateful. It's gratitude that makes us happy. There's a story I once heard about a man who had every reason to give up. He had lost his job, his savings, and almost all his hope, but every night before he slept, he wrote down 3 things he was grateful for, no matter how small. A warm meal, a roof over his head, the kindness of a stranger. At first it felt forced, but soon his heart began to change. Within weeks, he started to notice opportunities he couldn't see before. Gratitude didn't just change his attitude. It changed his entire reality, because when you focus on blessings, your mind becomes a magnet for more blessings. Gratitude is the foundation of abundance. People think abundance starts with money, but it doesn't. Abundance starts with appreciation. When you learn to appreciate what you already have, you naturally attract more of it. Life gives more to those who celebrate what they already hold. And that's not magic, that's mindset. Gratitude activates a part of your brain that releases dopamine and serotonin. The feel-good chemicals that literally rewire your thinking patterns. It's not a spiritual myth, it's neuroscience. A grateful brain is a powerful brain. But here's the secret. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a practice. You don't wait to feel thankful, you train yourself to be thankful. Every day, especially on the hard days, because that's when it matters most. When things fall apart, gratitude becomes your anchor. It keeps you grounded in what's still good, even when everything seems broken. You start realizing that even in loss, there's learning. Even in struggle, there's strength. Even in darkness, there's always a light, and gratitude helps you find it. When you begin practicing gratitude daily, your language starts to change. You stop saying, I have to, and start saying, I get to. You stop saying, why me, and start saying, try me. You stop focusing on problems and start focusing on possibilities. That shift alone rewires your mindset from victim to victor. Gratitude turns ordinary days into blessings, challenges into lessons, and mistakes into wisdom. Try this simple rituals every morning. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Don't overthink it. It could be your morning coffee, your health, your family, or even just the ability to breathe. As small as it seems, this exercise rewires your focus from lack to abundance. And at night, before you sleep, reflect on the moments that brought you peace. The smile of a stranger, a quiet moment of clarity, the comfort of knowing you made it through another day. When you do this consistently, you're training your brain to expect positivity. You're building a habit that transforms your emotional baseline. And here's the most beautiful part. Gratitude doesn't only change you, it changes the energy you bring into the world. People can feel it. Gratitude radiates through your tone, your body language, your presence. You become the calm in the chaos, the light in the storm. When you walk in gratitude, you walk differently, with confidence, peace, and quiet strength, because you're no longer chasing happiness, you're creating it. If you want to rewire your mindset, start here. Gratitude is the switch that turns on every other positive habit. When you live in gratitude, discipline feels easier, focus feels natural, and joy becomes your default state. You start noticing beauty where others see problems. You start appreciating moments instead of rushing through them. You start living fully, not someday, but today. So, the next time life feels heavy, stop and breathe. Find one small reason to say thank you. It could be the air in your lungs, the lessons from your pain, or the simple gift of being alive. Gratitude doesn't ignore what's wrong. It reminds you of what's still right, and that simple shift, that single moment of appreciation, can turn your entire day, your entire energy, your entire life around, because gratitude isn't just a habit. It's the heartbeat of happiness, the foundation of peace, and the key that unlocks a powerful, resilient mind. Your mind is the engine that drives your entire life. Every decision, every dream, every breakthrough begins with a single thought. But here's the truth most people never realize: your mind becomes what you feed it. What you consume daily, the words you listen to, the people you talk to, the media you absorb, all of it shapes your beliefs, your emotions, and eventually, your destiny. The quality of your life will always mirror the quality of your thoughts. And your thoughts are nothing more than the reflection of what you feed your mind every single day. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind? Is it growth or gossip? Inspiration or negativity? Strength or fear? Because every thought you allow to take root begins to grow into something. And not every seed deserves to be planted. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant, it will nurture, water, and multiply. So be intentional about what you allow to enter it. If you plant positive ideas, you'll harvest success. But if you allow negativity, doubt, and fear to take over, your mind will grow weeds instead of dreams. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every piece of information, every word you hear, every story you believe, they are seeds. The news, the conversations, the music, the videos, each one either waters your growth or poisons it slowly. You wouldn't dump garbage into a garden you're trying to grow. So why feed your mind with content that drains your energy and clouds your purpose? When you start feeding your mind with wisdom, everything changes. You start noticing clarity where there once was confusion. You begin seeing solutions instead of problems. You begin to rise above your circumstances because your mindset starts operating at a higher level. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the people you spend time with, they all become your environment. And your environment is silently building the boundaries of your thinking. Here's the secret successful people understand. If you want to change your life, you have to change your input. You cannot think like everyone else and expect to live differently. You cannot fill your mind with fear and expect to act with courage. You cannot fill your days with distractions and expect focus to magically appear. Greatness is not born, it's built, word by word, thought by thought, choice by choice. Start your mornings by feeding your mind something that expands it. Read a page that challenges your perspective. Listen to something that lifts your energy. Watch something that inspires your growth. Your mornings set the tone for your day, and your days become the rhythm of your life. When you begin your day with intention, your mind becomes unstoppable. But when you begin it with chaos, distraction, and comparison, your focus fades before the day even starts. The most powerful people you know have one thing in common. They protect their mental space. They know that thoughts become things, so they guard their minds like treasure. They don't waste time arguing with negativity. They don't entertain gossip. They don't allow opinions to shape their confidence. They decide what enters their mind, because they understand what enters stays. What stays grows, and you must do the same. If you want to rewire your mindset, start curating your mental diet. Choose content that feeds your purpose. Surround yourself with people who speak life, not fear. Let go of those conversations that keep you small. You don't have to hate anyone to move forward. You just have to stop letting their energy pull you backward. Protect your peace like it's oxygen, because it is. There will be days when negativity tries to sneak in. Through the news, through a friend, through your own self-doubt. That's when you have to be stronger than the noise. You have to remind yourself, I choose what I feed my mind. You have to fight for your focus, because the world will fight to take it from you. Every time you choose positivity over drama, you are strengthening your mental muscles. Every time you choose wisdom over distraction, you are building a stronger version of yourself. Here's something powerful to remember. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If your thoughts are cluttered, your life will be too. If your mind is calm and focused, your life will begin to mirror that energy. Feeding your mind is not just about learning. It's about transforming. It's about building a mindset so powerful that no external chaos can shake it. When you feed your mind with positive input, your entire perception shifts. You start to notice opportunities that were always there, but hidden behind your old mindset. You begin to believe in your own potential again. You stop waiting for the right moment and start creating it. Because when your mind is strong, everything else aligns. Never underestimate the power of a single idea. One book can change your direction. One conversation can spark a breakthrough. One moment of clarity can rewrite your future. But that moment doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you create space for wisdom to enter. So make it your mission every day to grow. Feed your mind with the knowledge that strengthens your character. Listen to voices that challenge you to think bigger. Absorb messages that remind you of your purpose, because every positive message you consume plants a seed in your subconscious, and one day those seeds will grow into unshakable confidence, discipline, and peace. The truth is simple. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. The choice is yours. What you feed it determines what it becomes. Garbage in, garbage out. Growth in, greatness out. You can't escape the law of mental nutrition. You can't pour poison into your thoughts and expect progress to bloom. Every successful person, every visionary, every leader you admire, they all learned to feed their mind before they fed their dreams. They filled themselves with wisdom before chasing success. They built strength from within before changing the world outside. Because your thoughts build the blueprint for your future. The moment you start feeding your mind with growth, everything begins to shift. You feel it in your focus. You feel it in your confidence. You feel it in your energy. Because a well-fed mind becomes a fearless mind, a focused mind, a mind that refuses to settle for less than its potential. So protect it, nurture it, fill it with everything that reminds you of who you are and what you're capable of. Because when your mind grows, your life follows. Your body is not just a vessel you live in. It's a source of energy, power, and emotion. Every thought, every feeling, every ounce of motivation you experience begins with movement. When your body is in motion, your mind awakens, energy flows, confidence builds, focus sharpens. You stop existing and start living. That's why the simple act of moving your body, even a walk, even a stretch, can shift your entire mood, your entire mindset, your entire day. Think about the mornings when you wake up feeling tired, unmotivated, or stuck. You tell yourself you don't have the energy to move, so you stay still, waiting for motivation to appear. But that's the mistake. Movement doesn't come after motivation. Movement creates motivation. The moment you push your body into motion, your mind begins to follow. Your brain releases endorphins, chemicals that lift your mood, spark your creativity, and clear mental fog. Suddenly, you feel alive again. That's not coincidence. That's science and discipline working together. The greatest leaders, athletes, and achievers understand this secret. They don't wait for the perfect mood to take action. They know that physical motion is emotional medicine. When they feel tired, they move. When they feel stuck, they move. Because movement resets the mind. It's the fastest way to silence anxiety, sharpen focus, and regain control over your emotions. The body leads and the mind follows. When you move your body with purpose, you're sending a message to your brain. I'm alive. I'm capable. I'm in control. You're not just exercising muscles. You're training your mindset. Every push-up, every run, every moment of effort is proof that you can do what's hard. And every time you do what's hard, you strengthen your discipline, because discipline is built in discomfort. You don't grow by staying still, you grow by moving forward even when it hurts. There's something powerful that happens when you push your body beyond its limits. It's not just physical. It's spiritual. You find strength you didn't know existed. You meet a version of yourself that refuses to quit. You start to believe again. You realize that pain is not punishment. It's progress. The soreness, the sweat, the struggle, they are all signs of growth. Each drop of effort becomes a reminder that you are becoming stronger, not just in body, but in spirit. Your body holds energy, and that energy must move. When you sit in one place too long, physically or mentally, that energy turns into stress, frustration, anxiety. But when you move, you release it. You give your emotions a channel. That's why after a workout, a walk, or even dancing to your favorite song, you feel lighter. Not just physically, but emotionally. Movement is therapy without words. It's healing in action. You don't have to be an athlete to use the power of movement. You just have to commit to daily physical action. Take a walk instead of scrolling your phone. Stretch instead of complaining about fatigue. Go outside, breathe. Move your body like you respect it. Because your body listens to how you treat it. When you take care of it, it gives back. In energy, in confidence, in longevity. When your energy is high, your problems shrink. You think better. You make clearer decisions. You speak with more confidence. The way you carry your body affects the way your mind carries your thoughts. If you slump, you signal defeat. If you stand tall, you tell your brain you're ready to lead. Your posture becomes your statement to the world and to yourself. Move like someone who knows where they're going. Walk like someone who owns their path. Stand like someone who refuses to break. There's a deep connection between your body and your emotions. When you feel stress, it often sits in your shoulders, your neck, your chest. When you feel fear, it tightens your stomach. The body holds everything you don't release. So when you move, you're not just burning calories. You're burning doubt, worry, and hesitation. You're freeing yourself from the emotional weight you've been carrying. That's why movement isn't optional. It's essential. In the quiet moments, when motivation fades and no one is watching, remember this: your body can be your greatest source of power. When you feel low, don't seek escape, seek movement. Go for a run, lift something heavy, stretch your limits. Because when you challenge your body, you teach your mind resilience. You show yourself that you can endure, that you can rise, that you can create momentum from nothing. And that's the beauty of it. Movement builds momentum. The hardest step is always the first one, but once you take it, everything starts to flow. Your thoughts sharpen, your mood shifts, your energy rises. One small action becomes a ripple that moves through your entire day, and that ripple becomes a wave that changes your entire life. Remember, you are not meant to stay stagnant. You were built to move, to evolve, to grow. Stillness is comfort, but growth is found in motion. Every time you move, you're telling your story through action. You're declaring, I'm not done. I'm still fighting. I'm still building. You're rewiring your mind to see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. Your body is the bridge between thought and reality. It carries you toward your dreams. If you treat it with respect, feed it well, rest it well, and move it often. Because the more you move, the more energy you create. And the more energy you create, the more powerful your life becomes. You have more strength than you know, more power than you realize. It's already within you. You just have to move to activate it. So the next time you feel stuck, lost, or uninspired, don't wait for change to happen. Stand up. Move your body. Move your energy. Because motion is the language of growth. And the moment you move, everything begins to shift. Your voice is powerful beyond measure. The words you speak are not just sounds. They are vibrations that create energy, direction, and identity. Every word you release into the world becomes a command to your subconscious mind. It's either planting the seed of confidence or the seed of doubt. It's either building your future or slowly breaking it. What you say about yourself, what you whisper to yourself in quiet moments, that's what your life becomes. Because your life will always move in the direction of your most dominant words. The truth is, we are all speaking our reality into existence. Every single day. Most people don't even realize it. They say things like, I'm tired. I can't. I'm unlucky. Nothing ever works out for me, without understanding that their words are shaping their mindset and their energy. Every I can't weakens your spirit. Every I'm not good enough rewires your brain to accept failure. But every I will, every I can, every I'm capable strengthens you, empowers you, and pulls your life toward the vision you desire. Think about it. When you hear someone speak with passion, confidence, and conviction, something stirs inside you. Their words move you. That's the power of language. but that same power exists within you. You don't have to wait for someone else to inspire you. You can speak that energy into your own life. The voice you listen to most is your own, so make sure it's building you, not breaking you. You've probably heard people say, "Be careful what you wish for." But the truth is deeper. Be careful what you speak for, because your words set the tone for your destiny. The universe, the mind, the energy around you, they all respond to vibration. Words carry vibration. When you speak negativity, you're releasing low energy into the world and into yourself. When you speak faith, hope, and power, you're tuning your energy to a higher frequency, one that attracts strength and opportunity. Your words are spells. Every syllable holds creative power. Speak life and life flows back to you. Speak defeat and defeat becomes your shadow. This isn't fantasy. It's psychology. Your brain believes what you repeatedly tell it. When you constantly say, "I'm not confident," your mind finds evidence to prove it true. But when you start saying, "I am learning, I am growing, I am improving," your brain shifts focus toward progress. You literally rewire your neural pathways with the language you use. That's how powerful you are. Every morning, the moment you wake up, your words begin to set the tone for your day. If your first thoughts are complaints, you've already surrendered your energy before the day even starts. But if you wake up and declare, "Today is mine. I will be focused. I will handle everything with calm and strength," your mind starts aligning with that vibration. It's not about pretending life is perfect. It's about commanding your mind to stay powerful, no matter what chaos surrounds you, even when things get difficult. Especially when they do, your words become your shield. When you face a setback, don't say, "This always happens to me." Say, "This is preparing me for something greater." When you feel tired, don't say, "I can't do this." Say, "I'm just getting started." When people doubt you, don't repeat their doubt. Speak your truth louder, because the voice that defines your path should always be your own. There will be moments when fear tries to control your language, when anxiety makes you want to complain, when frustration pushes you to speak negativity. That's when you have to pause and take back control. Breathe. Choose your words with intention. Don't let temporary emotions dictate permanent beliefs. A powerful mindset isn't about never feeling weak. It's about refusing to speak weakness into existence. The way you talk to yourself matters. The quiet conversations in your mind shape everything. When you look in the mirror, what do you say? Do you criticize or do you empower? Do you see flaws or do you see potential? You become what you repeat. And the repetition of empowering words, daily, consistently, builds unshakable confidence over time. Every "I am" statement you make is a declaration of who you're becoming. Say it with belief, and your life will rise to meet it. Here's something you should remember forever. Your words don't just describe your life, they design it. When you say, "I'm broke," your brain looks for ways to confirm it. When you say, "I'm learning to attract wealth," your brain begins to find opportunities that align with that belief. When you say, "I'm lost," your energy closes off. But when you say, "I'm discovering my direction," your energy expands. Words don't just express reality, they shape it. Start becoming intentional with your speech. Replace self-criticism with self-encouragement. Replace "I don't know how" with "I'm figuring it out." Replace "it's too late" with It's my time. Language is a habit, and habits are learned. So train your tongue to speak power even when your heart feels weak, because your words will carry you through the moments your motivation can't. When you speak life, people feel it. Your energy shifts the room. You inspire without trying. Because words spoken with truth and belief have weight. They connect, they heal, they elevate. The most magnetic people are not always the loudest. They're the ones who speak with clarity, authenticity, and conviction. You can feel their words before you even process them. That's the energy of someone who understands. Their voice is a tool of creation, not destruction. So start today. Speak to yourself as if you are already who you want to become. Say, I am focused. I am capable. I am becoming stronger every single day. You might not feel it right away. That's okay. Keep saying it until you do. Because repetition rewires belief, and belief rewires life. Every word is a seed. Speak wisely. Speak boldly. Speak life, even when it's hard, even when you don't see results yet, even when the world around you feels heavy. Because one day, you'll realize those words weren't just sounds. They were the foundation of your transformation. Everything you want in life begins first in your imagination. Every building, every invention, every masterpiece, every great success, it all started as a vision inside someone's mind. That's the secret that separates dreamers from doers. They don't wait for proof to believe. They believe until proof arrives. Visualization is not about fantasy. It's about programming your subconscious mind to see what doesn't yet exist until it becomes reality. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, and when you learn to use it intentionally, there's nothing you cannot create. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the person you want to become. Not vaguely, but vividly. See the way you walk, the way you speak, the calm confidence in your face, the strength in your presence. Imagine the life that version of you lives, the habits, the routines, the environment. Feel it as if it's already happening. That's the real magic of visualization. It's not just seeing, it's feeling. When your mind and emotions align with your vision, the universe starts rearranging itself to match that frequency. Most people underestimate the power of this process. They think success is all about action, working harder, pushing longer, grinding endlessly. But what good is hard work if it's not guided by vision? The mind must see it before the body can achieve it. You can't hit a target you can't see. Visualization gives direction to your energy. It creates clarity, and clarity builds momentum. Athletes do it before games. Leaders do it before decisions. Performers do it before they step on stage. They all visualize the outcome they desire. They see the success before it happens, because the brain doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. When you imagine yourself succeeding, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if you're actually living it. You're training your mind for victory before the moment arrives. But visualization alone isn't enough. Belief is the fuel that makes it powerful. You can't just picture your dream. You have to believe it belongs to you. You have to feel it in your bones, even when there's no evidence around you. That's the hardest part. Believing when you have no reason to. But that's also where transformation begins. The most successful people you'll ever meet all share one quality: unshakable belief. They see it before anyone else does. They walk by faith, not by sight. When you visualize and believe consistently, something incredible starts to happen. Your subconscious mind begins to align your habits, your thoughts, and your actions with that image. You naturally start doing things that pull you closer to your vision. You begin to attract people, opportunities, and circumstances that match your belief. This isn't coincidence. It's focus. Where attention goes, energy flows, and what you believe in deeply, you eventually create. But most people sabotage their vision with doubt. They say, "I want success." But their inner voice whispers, "You're not ready." They imagine abundance, but they carry the energy of lack. The mind can't manifest what the heart doesn't believe. You can't build a future with a vision rooted in fear. That's why belief must come first. You must condition your mind daily to believe that you are worthy, capable, and ready for the life you imagine. Every morning, before the noise of the world takes over, take a few moments to visualize your goals. Not in a distant someday. See them happening now. Picture yourself waking up in peace, working with purpose, achieving milestones that once scared you. Feel the emotions, the pride, the excitement, the gratitude. Let that feeling settle into your chest. Because once your brain attaches emotion to your vision, it starts searching for ways to make it real. When you live with vision, obstacles stop feeling like roadblocks. They become part of the journey. Tests to see how much you believe in what you claim to want. Life will always challenge your vision. It will throw doubt, delay, and disappointment your way. But that's when your belief must stand firm. The vision you hold in your mind is your blueprint. No storm can destroy a foundation that's strong. Visualization is not just about what you see. It's about who you become through what you see. The more you practice it, the more your confidence grows. Because when you repeatedly visualize success, you start to identify with it. You stop saying, "I hope it happens," and start saying, "It's already mine." That shift in identity is where real power lies. When your self-image rises, your actions follow automatically. You can start small. See yourself finishing the task you've been avoiding. Picture yourself walking into the room with confidence. Visualize that conversation going well. The more you do it, the stronger the muscle becomes. Visualization is mental rehearsal, and your mind becomes what it repeatedly practices. You've probably heard people say, "I'll believe it when I see it." But the truth of creation works the opposite way. You'll see it when you believe it, because everything that exists in your outer world was first born in someone's inner world. The plane, the phone, the company, the dream, all of it existed first as a picture in someone's mind. They didn't have proof. They had a vision, and they believed in it enough to make it real. So, when you close your eyes and see your goals, understand this. You're not imagining something impossible. You're previewing what's already waiting for you, on the other side of discipline, faith, and persistence. The vision you hold isn't random. It's your potential calling you forward. And belief is the bridge that will take you there. Even when the world doubts you, don't stop visualizing. Even when nothing seems to be working, don't stop believing. Because the moment you stop believing, you stop creating. But when you hold your vision with unwavering faith, life eventually catches up to the image you've built inside your mind. Every great change begins as a thought. Every powerful life begins as a vision, and every vision becomes real when belief refuses to quit. So, see it clearly, feel it deeply, believe it completely. Because once your mind accepts something as true, your life will begin to rise to meet it. In a world that never stops moving, reflection is the quiet power that few ever master. Most people wake up, rush through the noise, survive the day, and fall into bed exhausted, never stopping to ask themselves what it all meant. But the ones who rise above the ordinary, they pause. They think. They reflect. Because they understand that growth doesn't just come from doing. It comes from understanding what you did, why you did it, and how you can do it better. Reflection is the bridge between experience and wisdom. It's how ordinary moments turn into extraordinary lessons. Every night, before you sleep, there's a small window of silence. That sacred time when the world fades, and it's just you and your thoughts. That's where champions are made. Winners use that silence to reset their mind, to review their day, to reconnect with their purpose. They don't just live life on repeat. They live it with intention. Because without reflection, even the best days pass meaninglessly, and the worst days leave you bitter instead of better. Think about it. Every day gives you feedback. Every conversation, every challenge, every small success is life trying to teach you something. But you only learn if you stop long enough to listen. Reflection is that listening. It's asking yourself, what went right today? What went wrong? What did I learn? Those questions sound simple, but they hold the power to reshape your entire mindset. When you reflect, you take control of your story. You stop reacting and start growing. The mind is like a lens. Over time, it collects dust, confusion, pressure, emotion, failure, noise. Reflection is how you clean that lens, how you see your path clearly again. You can't expect to move forward if you never pause to realign. That's why winners take moments of stillness so seriously. It's not about stopping the journey, it's about sharpening direction. The greatest minds, philosophers, leaders, inventors, all had one thing in common: they made time to think. Because reflection gives you perspective, and perspective gives you power. When you reflect, you start recognizing patterns. You notice the things that drain your energy and the habits that build your strength. You realize which people push you forward and which ones hold you back. You begin to see the truth behind your actions. Not the story you tell yourself, but the reality of what drives you. That awareness is everything, because what you're aware of, you can change. What you ignore controls you. And once you reflect, the next step is to reset. Resetting isn't about forgetting your mistakes. It's about releasing their hold on you. Every day gives you a chance to begin again. But you can't start fresh if you're carrying yesterday's frustration. Reflection helps you process it. It teaches you to let go of the emotional weight and step into tomorrow with renewed focus. Because the truth is, you can't pour new energy into an old mindset. You must reset to rise. There's a reason pilots always check their instruments before takeoff, even if they've flown 1,000 times. They reflect, recalibrate, and reset. Because even small deviations can cause big problems if left unchecked. Life works the same way. A little distraction here, a little laziness there. Over time, they can take you miles off course. Reflection brings you back. It reminds you of your destination. It centers your compass. In the silence of reflection, you meet yourself, not the version the world sees, but the one that exists behind every action and thought. You confront your truth. And sometimes that truth is uncomfortable. You realize where you could have done better, where fear stopped you, where ego took over. But that's the beauty of reflection. It's not about judgment, it's about growth. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be aware. Because awareness is the birthplace of transformation. The strongest people aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who reflect after they fall, reset their mindset, and rise stronger. They learn, they adapt, and they keep moving forward, not blindly, but with wisdom. They use reflection as a compass and reset as a key. Together, those two habits keep their inner world balanced no matter how chaotic the outer world becomes. Imagine if, instead of ending your day with distraction and noise, you ended it with clarity. Imagine closing your eyes each night, knowing exactly what you learned, what you'll improve tomorrow, and what you're grateful for today. That level of awareness changes everything. Because when you live consciously, you stop being a victim of time. You start mastering it. And here's the truth: few understand reflection multiplies progress. The more you reflect, the faster you grow. Because every time you pause and analyze, you're compressing years of trial and error into moments of insight. You start seeing life differently, not as something that happens to you, but as something that happens for you. Resetting, then, becomes an act of power. It's the art of releasing what no longer serves you. The mistakes, the regrets, the anger, the doubt. You clear the space in your mind so new ideas, new energy, and new possibilities can enter. You stop carrying old weight into new opportunities. You start fresh, sharper, wiser. Reflection is not a weakness. It's not laziness or wasted time. It's mental maintenance. Just like your body needs rest, your mind needs reflection, because clarity is power, and power without direction leads to burnout. So tonight, when the noise fades and the lights dim, take a few moments for yourself. Replay your day like a movie. Notice the small victories, the hidden lessons, the quiet mistakes. Feel gratitude for the progress you made and forgiveness for where you fell short. Then, breathe deeply and reset. Tell yourself, tomorrow, I rise again. Clearer, stronger, better. That's how winners think. That's how growth becomes consistent. That's how success becomes inevitable. Because when you learn to reflect and reset, you stop repeating the same story and start writing a new one. One that leads straight to the life you are always meant to live. In a world that glorifies noise, movement, and speed, stillness has become a forgotten art. Everyone is racing somewhere, chasing something, scrolling endlessly, talking constantly, but few ever stop long enough to simply be. Yet in that silence, in that sacred stillness, lies a power most people never discover. Because it's only when you quiet the world outside that you can finally hear the world within. Stillness is not the absence of action. It is the foundation of it. It's the calm before creation, the pause that restores your power, the moment where clarity replaces chaos. The truth is, the mind is like water. When it's agitated, you can't see clearly. But when it becomes still, everything becomes visible: your purpose, your direction, your truth. That's why every great thinker, every enlightened soul, every peak performer makes time for stillness, because clarity doesn't come from running faster. It comes from slowing down. You can't make aligned decisions in a storm of distractions. You can't hear your intuition in a room full of noise. Sometimes, the most productive thing you can do is stop, breathe, and listen. We live in an age where silence feels uncomfortable. The moment things get quiet, people reach for their phones, fill the air with music, or drown their thoughts in business. But what if you sat with that silence instead? What if you learned to be at peace with your own mind? That's where transformation begins. Because silence is not empty. It's full of answers. Stillness is not idleness. It's insight. It's in those quiet moments that your inner voice speaks the loudest. When you practice stillness, you start to notice how fast your thoughts truly run. The anxiety, the worries, the endless chatter. You begin to see how your mind constantly drags you into the past or throws you into the future. But through stillness, you anchor yourself in the only moment that truly exists now. And in the now, fear loses its power. Stress fades. The noise dissolves. What's left is awareness, pure, calm, steady awareness. That awareness is the birthplace of control. Stillness is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Just like the body needs sleep, the mind needs stillness. Without it, your thoughts become tangled, your emotions reactive, your focus scattered. But when you learn to pause, to breathe deeply, to sit quietly, you start mastering your mind instead of being mastered by it. You stop living in reaction and start living in intention. That's where true power begins. Even in nature, everything powerful understands the rhythm of stillness. The ocean rests between waves. The earth pauses between seasons. The heart itself has moments of silence between beats. Without that rhythm, chaos would take over. Stillness isn't weakness. It's balance. It's wisdom. It's control. And those who master it move through life with a calm confidence that others can feel. They are unshaken not because life is easy, but because they've built peace within. In the moments of stillness, creativity awakens. The greatest ideas don't come from rushing. They come from quiet. When your mind is still, imagination flows freely. Problems that once felt impossible begin to unfold with simplicity. You stop forcing solutions and start receiving them. That's the beauty of inner calm. It opens the door to higher intelligence, the kind that comes not from overthinking, but from deep knowing. Stillness is also where healing happens. The body repairs itself best in peace, not in panic. The mind finds balance when it's not overloaded with stimulation. When you sit in silence, when you let your breath slow down, your nervous system begins to reset. Your body remembers what safety feels like. Your heart remembers what peace feels like, and that restoration is what gives you strength to move forward. Many people believe strength looks like hustle, like grinding endlessly, like never stopping. But real strength is the ability to pause, to say, I don't need to chase, I need to align. Stillness teaches you that not everything requires a reaction. You don't have to attend every battle you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every noise that calls your name. Sometimes the most powerful move is no move at all. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words ever could. When you make stillness a daily practice, everything about your life begins to change. Your focus sharpens, your emotions stabilize, your intuition deepens. You start acting from peace instead of panic. You stop getting lost in the rush and start leading your life with clarity. You begin to understand that peace isn't something you find in the world. It's something you create within yourself. Start with just a few minutes a day. Sit somewhere quiet. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Feel your heartbeat. Watch your thoughts come and go without judgment. Don't fight the noise in your mind. Just observe it. Over time, you'll realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them. And in that realization lies freedom. You don't have to control every thought. You only have to stop being controlled by them. Stillness teaches patience, and patience builds wisdom. When you stop reacting impulsively, you give space for insight to emerge. You begin to see life not as a series of problems to fix, but as lessons to understand. You start responding with intention instead of emotion. That shift alone can transform your relationships, your work, and your overall peace. And in that stillness, something beautiful happens. You reconnect with your essence. You remember who you were before the world told you who to be. You remember that beneath all the roles, responsibilities, and noise, you are already enough. You don't need to chase peace. You are peace. You just have to be still enough to remember it. So the next time life feels overwhelming, don't rush, don't react, don't run, just pause. Take a deep breath. Let silence speak for a moment, because inside that stillness lies the guidance you've been searching for all along. The answers you seek are not out there. They've been waiting for you in the quiet corners of your own soul. The people around you are shaping you, even when you don't notice it. Their energy, their habits, their words, they slowly become the environment your mind lives in. That's why choosing who surrounds you is one of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make. If you walk with dreamers, you'll start dreaming bigger. If you walk with doubters, you'll start shrinking your vision to fit their fear. Energy is contagious, and if you want to grow, you need to be around people who water your growth, not drain your spirit. Growth-minded people see possibilities where others see limits. They challenge you to rise higher, to think deeper, to push further than you thought you could. They don't flatter you, they sharpen you. They don't compete with you. They complete you by helping you uncover parts of your potential you never noticed. Every conversation with them leaves you elevated, not exhausted. Every interaction reminds you of who you can become, not who you were. When you surround yourself with people who are chasing progress, you start aligning with their frequency. Their discipline becomes your standard. Their courage becomes your mirror. Their hunger for success ignites something inside you that comfort could never awaken. And soon, growth becomes your normal, not your exception. So look around. If the people in your circle don't inspire you, it's time to expand your circle. Because the right people don't just change your mood, they change your mindset. And once your mindset evolves, your entire life begins to follow. Perfection is a trap that keeps countless people from ever feeling proud of themselves. We live in a world that celebrates flawless results, but ignores the quiet courage it takes to simply begin. True success isn't about reaching perfection. It's about honoring progress. Every small step, every minor win, every imperfect attempt matters more than waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Growth is messy, uncomfortable, and full of mistakes, but that's where real transformation lies. When you celebrate progress, you shift your focus from what's missing to how far you've come. You start appreciating effort instead of chasing impossible standards. Each day you choose discipline over comfort. Each time you rise after failing, you're winning, even if the world doesn't clap for you yet. The truth is, perfection is a moving target. No matter how high you climb, there will always be more to reach for. But progress gives you momentum. It builds confidence. It teaches you to love the process, not just the outcome. The most successful people aren't perfect. They're consistent. They don't wait for everything to be right before they move. They move until things become right. They find power in the process, strength in the struggle, and pride in the progress. Every tiny improvement compounds over time until it becomes greatness. So celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge the effort. Smile at how far you've come, even if you're not where you want to be yet. Because the moment you learn to celebrate progress, you stop chasing perfection and start creating unstoppable growth. The way you end your day determines how you begin the next. Reflection isn't just a habit, it's a ritual of growth. When the noise fades and the world quiets down, that's when your thoughts finally have space to speak. Every night gives you a chance to look back, to learn, to realign. It's not about judging your day, it's about understanding it. Reflection turns your experiences into lessons, and your lessons into wisdom. Take a few moments before you sleep and ask yourself, what did I learn today? What am I grateful for? What can I do better tomorrow? These questions might seem simple, but they hold the power to reshape your mindset. When you review your day with honesty, you gain perspective. You begin to see your patterns, your wins, your distractions, your emotional triggers. That awareness is the foundation of growth. You can't improve what you don't understand. Reflection also gives your mind closure. Instead of carrying the weight of unfinished thoughts into the night, you release them. You make peace with the day, no matter how it went. That peace allows your mind to rest, your energy to reset, and your purpose to renew. Each night becomes an ending and a new beginning. Most people rush into tomorrow without learning from today. And that's why they repeat the same mistakes. But those who pause, who reflect, who ask the right questions, they evolve daily. They don't just live life. They learn from it. The truth is simple. You don't become your goals. You become your habits. Every thought, every action, every choice, they're all shaping your future right now. If you want a new life, start by creating new habits. If you want to rewire your mind, start by practicing positivity every single day. Remember, the smallest shift in your habits can create the biggest transformation in your destiny. So today, choose growth. Choose gratitude. Choose greatness. Because your mindset is not fixed. It's flexible. And every habit you build is one more brick in the foundation of your best self. This is Wisdom in Minutes Audiobooks, where every word is a step toward the life you deserve. Stay inspired, stay disciplined, and never stop growing.